Hi, grade 1, and welcome back to science. I'm sorry for any of the internet issues we've been having today, and the lesson was a little bit complicated, so I thought I could reteach it and show you guys, so maybe it's easier for you to understand, okay? So I'm going to go through the PowerPoint again, and then I will go through the graph that I will be sending you today for homework, all right? So let's get started. Okay, so I hope you guys can see this. So this is science. And in science today, it says, I will use a bar graph to record how many, so the number of moons each planet has. And like I said, we even have a moon, and you see it at nighttime when the sun goes down, the moon comes up. And it's nice and big. Sometimes it's small little slither, right? And sometimes it's really big. So let's learn about how many moons the other planets have. So first, let's talk again about how many planets we have going and revolving, orbiting around the sun. So we have 8 planets going around the sun. We have Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. 8 planets revolving around the sun. So now let's talk about what a moon is. A moon is a big ball of rock that orbits or revolves around a planet. So, just like the planets revolve around the sun, we have moons that revolve around the planets. It's a little confusing, right? But let's continue. But think about that, okay? So again, we are going to record the number of planets using our bar graph. Like I said, this one is much nicer than the one I was doing with you quickly in class today. So it's going to look much prettier when you do it at home. So the first, Mercury, our first planet closest to the sun. It has no moons. It says it's a lonely planet because it's by itself. A moon, I guess, can kind of be like a friend. So if it has no moons, it has no friends, 0 friends. So it's lonely, it's by itself. So if we look on the graph, 0 is at the bottom line here. So we don't have to record anything. Next comes Venus. Venus also has no moons. It's lonely because moons are like our friends. And if it has no moons, we don't write anything. Next, we have Earth. And as you see from at nighttime, Earth has 1 moon. So in order to graph, we need to look for the number 1. As you can see here on our graph, it goes by tens. But every 2 lines, it skips. It goes by 10 every 2 lines. So that means the middle 9 is 5. We know that 1 is less than 5. So we're going to try and go closest to 1 as we can. So we find the 0, go a little bit above the 0, and go all the way to Earth, where we will draw a bar graph, a bar. Okay, and in order to help us remember, we will write the number 1 on top because we have some questions we need to answer after. So 1. Okay, so next, Mars. Mars has 2 moons. And it's excited because that's two friends, right? And you see here the rocks going around Mars. So it has two moons. Again, we look for the number 10 and the number 0 because it is between 10 and 0. And then we go over to Mars and we make a line that's a little bit bigger than the one for Earth. 2. Because Mars has 2 moons. Next one. 79. Jupiter has 79 moons. It is so popular. There's so many friends, right? 79. Do you guys think you can count all the way to 79? It's all the way over here on our hundreds chart. Or can you do 79 jumping jacks? Or can you run for 79 seconds? That's a lot. So what we will do is find the number 80. Because 79 comes right before 80, as you see here on the chart. 79, oopsies, and 80. So 79, so we find the 80 and we found Jupiter. Take your finger all the way up to the 79, and then we'll draw one big line all the way from Jupiter to the number 79. And again, we want to remind ourselves how many moons each one has. So on top of this very long line, we are going to write the number 79. Whoa, that's a big jump. All right, so for Saturn, let's go to the next planet. Saturn has 53 moons. It's still a big number. It's more than halfway to 100, but it's less than 79, right? So what we need to do is find the closest number to 53, which is 50, and then take our fingers over to Saturn and draw a line up. Okay, next we have Uranus. Uranus has 27 moons. That's how old Miss Bia is. So Uranus and I are matchy-matchy. So let's find the closest number to 27. So if we look at 27 here on the graph, is it closer to 30 or is it closer to 20? It's closer to 30, right? So let's find 30 here on our graph and take our fingers over to Uranus and draw a line up to 27. So close to 30, but not yet at 30. And again, to remind us how many there are, we are going to write the number. And let's do the same for Saturn, because I forgot. Crazy, crazy, Miss Bia. And finally, we have Neptune. Neptune has 14 moons. 14 moons. So if you are 7, that's 2 times your age. So 2 first graders is the number of moons Neptune has. So let's find the number 10 and the number 20. 14 is somewhere in between, so around 15. So we go to 15. Oops, I'm sorry. We go to 15 and we take our fingers over to Neptune. So let's draw a line up to there, and then we will write 15. Okay, grade 1, and here is our graph. Again, I will post a picture for you guys to see. At the bottom, there are questions. Which planet has the most amount of moons? So we look for the biggest line. We found it, and we see what planet that is. Next, which planet has the least amount of moons? And I know you guys want to say Earth because it has the smallest line, but you have to remember there are 2 planets that are 0 moons. So they have the least amount of moons. Next, it says which planets have more moons than Uranus? So you go over and you find Uranus and you look at the 2 lines or the lines that are bigger than Uranus, and they have more moons than Uranus. And then it says which planets have the less moons than Neptune. So again, you go over to Neptune and you see which lines are smaller. We have 4 of them. That is my hint. Okay, so grade 1, tonight for your homework, you have to make a graph. All right? Bye, guys.